Kamala Harris's pick of Tim Walz injected yet another shot of adrenaline into her campaign, the Democratic base. But even before that, the VP had already secured support from many former presidents, including 99-year-old Jimmy Carter. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported earlier this week, the 39th president of the U.S. told his son Chip, quote, "I'm only trying to make it to vote for Kamala Harris." Jason Carter is with us tonight, the grandson of former President Carter, chair of the Carter Center Board of Trustees, and a former Georgia state senator himself. Jason, thank you for being here. So the last VP from Minnesota, I probably don't need to tell you, was Walter Mondale under President Jimmy Carter. Waltz got the nod yesterday. Your thoughts?
He seems like a great guy. I mean, I think a lot of us are still getting to know him, but he's plain spoken. He keeps it real. He's funny. He's got great, dad energy. He's a coach. He's a leader of men, right? I mean, he's been in the military at high positions. Seems like a perfect person for us, and I think he's going to play great in Georgia, frankly.
Okay, yeah, a battleground state, which we'll get to in a moment. But your grandfather turns 100 on October 1st. He's been in hospice for over a year. Is he determined to vote in this election?
I think he is. I mean, here's what we have learned over the last year, right? When he first went into hospice, we didn't think it was going to be a matter of days. And here he is 17 months later. And so the one thing that we all know and that he's always believed is he's on this faith journey. I do think that he's energized by Kamala Harris really energizing the communities that we all live in. So
I'm sorry, your sound cut out for 1 second. You said when you talked about his 100th birthday, he said
that his real goal was to vote for Kamala Harris. I mean, he's excited about that certainly means more to him than a birthday milestone.
My gosh, 100th birthday, and of course, Jimmy Carter, of all people, still thinking of others and the nation. And as you said, Jason, Georgia is competitive, more so this year in the past few years than a long time before it. You served as a state senator. You know the terrain very well. What will Georgia come down to in November?
We just had an election. Republican governor and a Democratic senator in the same election. So we're truly have a group of people in this state that are willing to make up their minds based on the candidates. This state voted to fire Donald Trump before. I think there's every reason to expect that it will vote to fire him again. And I think Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to have to come down here and earn some votes. But I think those votes are theirs to be had. There's certainly enough energy. There's a remarkable ground game that President Biden put together that, there's 24 offices in this state all across Georgia, more than we've ever had for a presidential race before. We had 7,000 volunteers sign up since the switch to Vice President Harris. And so we have all the ingredients that we need. And there's that group of voters that are willing to really look at the candidates that last time voted to fire Donald Trump. And I just think if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz continue on the road that they're on, those same voters will vote to elect those two.
In recent days, there have been some questions about how the Georgia Board of Elections is conducting itself, making policy and such, transparency. Do you feel that they're on the up and up?
I think that very strong electoral system. I think that we have done a good job maintaining the integrity of that system. I think the vote is secure. I think that there's, frankly, a Secretary of State that has demonstrated that he's willing to stand up to Donald Trump, even though he's a Republican. I think, you had Donald Trump in here attacking the governor of our state and the governor's wife. So I don't know that Donald Trump has any fans in the system, and I have real faith in that electoral system. So is it going to be perfect? No election is ever perfect, but is at the end of the day an election that we can all trust and have faith in here in Georgia.
Understood. Okay, and I do want to mention, like I said, your granddad's 100th birthday celebration is coming up in just a few weeks. The public can come. Tickets just went on sale. By the way, I love the art, him in the farmer's hat. It's just perfect. It screams Americana. It screams Jimmy Carter. Some of these artists like Eric Church, I mean, any of us would want to hear him. Can you tell us about one, how he's feeling going into this, and also about the celebration?
Yeah, so I mean, music was always super important to him, and it was important to him because it brings people together. And so this event is going to be this remarkable, eclectic group of artists, as you said, Eric Church, but also, we're going to have D Nice, the DJ. We're going to have, his good friend Chuck Lavelle from the Allman Brothers, who's been around my grandfather for many, many years, and a host of other folks that I'm excited about, the Drive-By Truckers and Warren Treaty. It's going to be at the Fox Theater in Atlanta. And we just think it's a great way to celebrate him because it's going to be about sort of the richness of America. It's going to benefit the Carter Center, which was his life's work after leaving the presidency. And it's just a really exciting way to pay tribute to sort of how cool he was, as you can see from the picture, but also just to bringing people together at a moment where we think that's important and doing it for a good cause. So we're thrilled by it, and he's excited about it too.
They can log on and even attend if they'd like to celebrate President Jimmy Carter's 100th birthday. Quite a milestone. Jason Carter, thank you for being here. We're sending your family love, your grandfather love. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We have felt the outpouring of support over this last year and really appreciate you and everything you're doing.
And happy birthday to you, by the way. I learned it's your birthday, sir.
It is my birthday, and I'm spending it with you, which I appreciate.
Cheers. I'm sending you a beer as well then. Thank you. See you later, Jason. Thanks.